Shalom. Kahalai Halabashim Yahushai Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great ones don't rule well. Shalom to the 144,000, the 1/3 remnant men, women, and children of the whole for elect. Shalom. This is the brother Kabar Yash coming back at you with another lesson. Through the spirit and power of Yahushai Yahushai, praise and let's be edifying and straight to the point. We're going to jump right into this article from the endtimeheadlines.org. Okay, it says nearly 3,000 so-called U.S. sightings reported in the first half of 2025. 3,000 Chariot sightings. Okay, so hey, the Lord Yahweh Shai is visiting the world which He made through His angels, man. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. Reports of unidentified flying objects, okay, or they call them UAPs, all right, unidentified aerial phenomena. Okay, so these really are the chariots of the Lord Yahweh Shai. Okay, reports of unidentified flying objects have surged in recent months, drawing attention from experts to the public alike. According to data compiled by the National UFO Reporting Center, nearly 3,000 sightings were documented in the United States during the first half of 2025, man. So, hey, call Helene Light. How about Shemiao Shai, man? Hey, this is beautiful. This figure marks a significant increase compared to previous years, highlighting a growing interest in aerial phenomena. Okay, and this is beautiful. Okay, so we know that our salvation is close at hand. Okay, these angels are visiting Babylon, the great America. Okay, this is a curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth, especially here in Babylon, man. Okay, it says the center, which has been tracking such reports since 1974, rely on voluntary submissions from witnesses across the country. Many of these accounts describe strange lights, unusual shapes, and unexplained movements in the sky, as reported by News Nation. The spike in sightings could be attributed to heightened awareness and easier reporting methods. Experts suggest that advancements in technology such as smartphone cameras and social media have made it simpler for people to document and share their experience. However, not all reports are verified, and some may stem from misidentifications of drones, aircrafts, or natural occurrence. One notable aspect of the data is the geographic distribution of these sightings. States like California, Florida, and Texas reported the highest numbers of, possibly due to their large population and clear skies. The additions to domestic reports, international sightings have also been on the rise, contributing to global discussions about so-called UFOs. Government agencies, including NASA's Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, continue to investigate these claims to determine their origins. Okay, we've seen a steady increase in reports over the past few years, says Peter Davenport, director of the National UFO Reporting Center. Davenport emphasizes the importance of public participation in gathering this information. He noted that while many sightings remain unexplained, the center aims to provide a platform for objective analysts. All right, so hey, this is beautiful, man. We're living in some exciting times, man. Okay, these chariots are appearing more and more. 3,000 chariot sightings this year alone in the first half of 2025. Hey, that's beautiful. So what that tells you, man, our salvation is near. It's close at hand. Okay? Let's see. little bit more. I'm not going to read all of this. Okay. Let's get to some. Yeah, let's read this. It says, with nearly. Hold on, let's start. It says, the goal is to demystify the unknown and advance our understanding of the skies, Davenport reported. With nearly 2,000 reports already logged, 2024 is shaping up to be a record for so-called UFO sightings. This trend underscores the enduring human curiosity about what lies beyond our atmosphere. Yeah. Let's see. It says the surge in so-called UFO interest also coincide with declassified documents released by various governments revealing historical cases that were previously shrouded in secrecy. These disclosures have fueled speculations and further research into unexplained aerial events. Experts caution against jumping to conclusions, advocating for rigorous, significant methods in elevating each case by maintaining an open yet skeptical mindset. The field of ufology, I ain't never heard that word, it must be new, continues to progress. But anyway, man, look, 3,000 cherry sightings this first half of 2025, man. We're in July. You're going to see more. That number is going to increase. But hey, this is beautiful. And hey, we're living in some beautiful times, man. Okay? All right, so without further ado, let's go to the scriptures, man, because our salvation is close at hand. Okay? Our salvation is near. Let's go to Luke. Let's go to Luke 21. And let's go to start at verse 24. And we're going to read down to verse 28. Luke chapter 21, verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. Who was led away into all nations, man? Okay. This happened in 70 AD, man. The Israelites did. Okay. We were scattered to all nations. Okay. So you're going to have Israelites not only delivered here, the elect of Israel delivered here in Babylon, but you're also going to have some of the elect that will be delivered throughout the four corners of the earth. And we're going to get into that. Okay. It says, and Jerusalem shall be tried down of the Gentiles, that the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. The times of the Gentiles have already been fulfilled, man. Okay? They're being fulfilled. So, the time of the ruling of the Gentiles, who is Esau, Edom, is coming to an end. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob's beginning of it that followed. Okay? Verse 25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the seas and the waves roaring. Verse 26, man's heart failing them for fear, for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Verse 27, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the cloud with power and great glory. That's that fathership chariot, and that's going to appear. Verse 28, and when these things begin to come to pass, and look up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So our redemption, our salvation is close in hand. Okay, let's go to Romans 13 and 11. Romans 13 and 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. So our salvation is close at hand. 3,000 chariot sightings this year. That's a lot, man. Okay? Some you probably seen, some you might not have seen. But nevertheless, man, these chariots are appearing. Okay? And got Esau shook. Okay? So let's go to Zechariah 5. And let's read verse 1 through 4. Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roe. It's a chariot. Verse 2. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roe. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Verse 3. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. These chariots are a curse, because they're coming back to destroy Esau's kingdom, okay, and set up the righteous kingdom that's going to be ruled on earth by the Israelites, man, the 144,000 alongside Yahushua and King David, okay. For everyone that stilleth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. Verse 4, and I will bring it forth, saith the Lord Yahweh shall host, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. These chariots are entering into the house of the thief, which is Esau, even the so-called white man. Okay, it's entering into Babylon. 3,000 chariot sightings of Babylon, America alone this year, in the first half of this year. That's beautiful, man. So these chariots are visiting America, okay? And throughout the four corners of the earth. And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. That's the laser beam fire from the chariots, man. Okay? So you know our salvation is very, very near. Let's go to Jeremiah 16, and let's read verse 14 through 15. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh Shai, that it shall no more be said, the Lord Yahweh Shai liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. That's the first Exodus. All right, the second Exodus is going to come when Yahushua shows up, okay, with the host of angels, and to deliver the Lord's elect, man, from out of Babylon and throughout the four corners of the earth. Let's read it. Verse 15, but the Lord Yahweh shall live, that brought the children of Israel from the land of the north. The land of the north is America, Babylon the Great, and from all the lands whither he hath driven them. And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. So the Lord Yahweh is going to bring us into the land of Israel again, man. Okay? Let's go to now Isaiah. He's coming back to save the elect on this side, because 2/3 are destined to die. Let's go to Revelation, Slaki. Let's go to Isaiah 11 and verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord Yahweh shall set his hand again the second time, okay, his second return, Yahweh to recover the remnant of his people. That's the elect, okay, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. Verse 12, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. So the Israelites were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, man. Okay, let's go. Let's go Matthew. Matthew chapter 24, where I was started at first, but it's cool. Anyway. All right. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. What's going to cause this earth to shake, man? The ICBM nuclear missiles. Okay, but before that happens, what's going to happen? Verse 30. Then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, that shall shine. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. That's the Fathership Chariot. Verse 31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect, the elect of Israel, from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So the great deliverance is going to come out of Babylon, the great America, but you're also going to have deliverance that's going to come throughout the four corners of the earth, because you got some Israelites that are scattered amongst all nations that are going to come looking like the nations that are going to be a part of the remnant, the elect. Okay, it's all about the elect, man. Okay, so our salvation is very, very close in hand. Okay, let's go to Second Israel now. Y'all know what scripture I'm going to get. Second Israel 13. Because this is about to take place real soon, man. Okay. Second Ezra 13. All right. Second Ezra chapter 13. And let's start at verse 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. This is the prophet Israel's dreaming. Verse 2. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. Verse 3. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heavens, that shall outshine, come on the fathership with the host of angels. Okay? And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen unto him. These people are going to tremble. We read that in Luke, the 21st chapter. Man's heart fell in them for fear when they see a so-called black man, a dark-skinned man, so-called Negro, okay, who the world ignorantly and falsely calls JC, and who the world ignorantly thinks that he's a so-called white man with blonde hair and blue eyes. No, Yahushua is a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah, okay? He's a Judite, okay, which make us the so-called Negroes, okay? It tells you that in Hebrews 7:14. It's evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah. Okay. Verse 4. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when it feeleth the fire. That's the high laser beam chariots from the Lord, man. Okay. That high concentration laser beam. Watch the War of the Worlds, man. Okay. It's going to be zapping people. Going to be zapping 2/3 Edomites and heathens, while at the same time delivering the Lord's elect. Verse 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heavens to subdue the man that came out of the sea. That's talking about the war in heaven, man. Okay. Why you think Esau set up a space force, man? Okay. Because these nations are going to stop fighting each other during World War III and going to try to fight Yahushua. Okay, that's Revelations 12:7. But they're going to lose, especially Esau. Okay, verse 6. But I beheld, and lo, he have graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. That's that big fathership chariot. All right, just like in the movie Independence Day. Okay, well, it's going to be a lot bigger than that chariot in Independence Day, man, the movie. Verse 7. But I would have seen the regional place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. This chariot was so big that, hey, the prophet Israel couldn't see where it began or end. It covered the whole sky, man. Verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. These nations going to be afraid, especially Esau, but hey, they're going to fight. They're going to try to fight. Okay. Verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, or any instrument of war. Y'all ain't going to need that. Verse 10. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. That is the high laser beam chariots that's going to literally obliterate these nations. Okay? Zap them into powder, dust. Let's continue. Verse 11. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So the prophet Israel is back. He's gonna see this in real time, man. You're gonna see the hey, the Lord's hopeful elect is going to witness this in the chariots. We're gonna witness this, man, in real time. Okay? These chariots zapping these nations, burning them up, man. Okay? Verse 12. Afterward I saw the same man come down from the mountain and called unto him another peaceable multitude. That's the elect. Okay, so the elect is gonna be delivered, man. Let's go to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 26, verse 20. Isaiah 26 and verse 20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers. That's the elect, okay, in the chariots. And shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed. Verse 21. For behold, the glory Bashem Yahushua coming out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. 2/3 are going to be a part of that. These heathens and these Edomites, man, okay, are all going to face that second death, which is the lake of fire that's going to be right here in Babylon, the Great America, when those 200 million missiles hit and the laser beam fire from the chariots, man. The earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain. Okay? Stay in Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah 66 and verse 15 and 16. For behold, the glory Bashem Yahushua will come with fire, and his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. Verse 16. For by fire and by sword will the glory Bashem Yahushua plead with all flesh, and the slaying of the Lord Bashem Yahushua shall be many. So a lot of people gonna die, man. 2/3. 2/3 of you wicked ass Israelites, these heathens and these Edomites, man. And if you got doomsday bunkers here in Babylon, that's just basically gonna be your grave, man. Now let's go to Revelation. Okay. Revelation 18, and let's get straight to the point. Verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. That's the elect being called up into the chariots, being delivered from the destruction. Okay? The nuclear destruction and the chariots destruction too. That's going to zap people, and hey, yeah. Verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh have remembered her iniquities. Verse 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled to her double. So America's got to receive double for what is done to the children of Israel, man. Verse 7. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. That's the pride of America, and that's also the pride of Esau. Verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahushua who judgeth her. Okay. Let's get down. Let's get down to verse 20. Yeah, let's get down to verse 20. Rejoice over her, thou heavens, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for Yahweh hath avenged you on her. So the Lord Yahweh is going to avenge the elect among behalf of Babylon, the great America, by burning and destroying this place. Okay? Our salvation is close at hand, brothers and sisters, man. So the glory Habashim Yahushua is visiting the world which he made through his angels. Okay? 3,000 chariot sightings this year in the first half. Hey, call Habashim Yahushua, man. We almost out of here. This is good. Okay? Let's see anything else. No, I'm gonna end it here, man. I pray his lesson was edifying and straight to the point. Call Habashim Yahushua. Shem Rakakwadash. Our salvation is near. Hang tight. We know we got to go through Jacob's trouble, but hey, salvation is close, man. We almost out of this motherfucker. Excuse my language. Not excuse my language. So with that, Shalom. Kwam Yashranga. Wa Abba Babal. Shalom.